Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
This is WHPC Sports Talk.
Fresh out of the weekend, into the new weekend, it is time for another edition of WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. As usual on Monday, it is your host, Joshua Umahi. I'm joined by Devin O'Shea. How are we doing?
Doing well. Trade deadline. I'm looking forward to it. Who are we giving away?
Yeah,
what are we getting?
Who else are the Mets giving away before tomorrow at 6?
Kenya, Verlander, is he going?
That's a real question. Verlander, is he staying? Is he going? We're going to get to that for sure.
We can get a good prospect for him. I'll take the deal.
Be better. Liam Flynn.
As a Mets fan, today I consider myself the unluckiest man on the face of the earth. What a disgusting weekend. They did take 3 out of 4 from the Nationals. Yeah, of course. Now, once we trade everybody, that would have helped us.
Please don't tell me about a disgusting weekend right now.
Jake Boico, the resident Yankees fan. How are we doing today? How was your weekend? Just let it all out.
My Saturday was great.
Yeah?
But, the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. How is he on a team? How is he on a Major League roster? I don't understand it. It's so stupid. It's a guaranteed loss every time he pitches. It's a joke.
Did you finally dox his address yet, or are you still working on
I did. I listen. If anyone, feel free to call in. You could text me privately. I will gladly give it to you if you want it. Just let me know.
Yeah, if you got your hands on Luis Severino's address, his home address, you can hit us up at 516-905-WHPC. I don't know if Jake wants to give out his personal number, but I'll relay the information to him.
They can call the show.
Jake, what are you going to do once you get the address? Are you going to bring him like a hot peach cobbler or something like that?
Yeah. I'm actually I'm going to give him a get well soon gift. I think that's the plan. So
I'm going to give him coffee.
Because clearly something's messed up, that he's not well in the head. So I don't know.
Man's got the yips.
He's so bad. What did he say last night? I think I'm the worst. What did he say? I forgot.
He's the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball, right? I think that's what he said.
That's definitely what he said.
Joke. That.
Hey, man. The Yankees, they just keep sliding, and the Mets did win a 3 out of 4 despite how their trade deadline moves went. So we got a question later in the show. Is there any Mets fans in the room that want to bet that they'll finish with a better record than the Yankees? Do we? No.
Really?
No. We'll talk about it later. But like we said, 516-572-7440. That is the number 2. Join the show. Call us up. Mets fans, Yankees fans, sports fans as a whole, we want to hear from you. Going to get to both baseball teams. Going to get to trade deadline news, and we're going to get to the don't pay running back drama continuing in the NFL. This time, it is Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. And it's Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. They are in a Twitter war.
Wow.
It's not looking good. I mean, we saw how it played out with Saquon Barkley, but at least, John Mara, Joe Shane, we trust them as executives. This Jim Irsay dude, though.
Who was on crack?
Yeah, we gonna get to him. Let's get it started, though. Let's start with the New York Mets. Let's just recap their weekend, and then we'll get into their trade deadline moves. They started a 4-game series against the Nationals on Thursday. Kodai Senga, I can't say enough good things about him. In a season that's had a lot of downs, if you're a Mets fan, Kodai Senga has definitely been the one steady guy who you pretty much know what you're going to get out of him. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, only 5 strikeouts, and I say only because that's a down start for him. Spectacular again in a 2-run 8th inning.
The average for Verlander.
Yeah. This 2-run 8th inning on Thursday, Daniel Vogelbach and Mark Canha drove in the 2 runs. Mets win 2-1. But that win was overshadowed by the controversial trade of David Robertson, who was traded for the 18th and 21st ranked prospects in the Marlins system. The Marlins are a farm system rich of pitching prospects. The Mets opted not to go that route. Billy Epler said, "Nah, I'm good. Give me the catcher due up in 2027 and the infielder due up in 2025. That's good enough for me." But we'll get to that later. On Friday, we didn't know if it was going to be Max Scherzer's last start as a Met. Spoiler alert, it is. 6 hits over 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Good way to close out. Finished the season as a Met with a 4.01 ERA. Pete Alonso drove in every Mets run. He put on the backpack, 3-run home run in the 5th, 2-run home run in the 7th. Mets won 5-1. Now, Saturday, I'm not going to talk about the game because, Carlos Carrasco pitched, and y'all have a pretty good idea of how that went. So I'm not going to go into detail, but...
We all know how the cookie crumbles. Time and time again.
There we go.
Clever.
There we go. But yeah, you can say he crumbled or you can say he's a 2-pack of ass. Either way, it's just... it's not good.
Either way, you're not wrong.
Please hit him with the DFA, now. In the matter of seconds. I don't want to see this guy wearing the Mets uniform, the Mets hat no more. I can't. It makes me want to throw up every time he's on the mound, and I said I was going to get into it, so I'm not. Let's talk about the trade. Max Scherzer, that we just brought up, his last start on the mound as a Met, pretty good, but he's traded away to Texas for just one prospect, Luis Angel? Luis Angel?
Looks like it.
Luis Angel Acuna, that is Ronald Acuna Jr.'s brother. Now, Acuna, just a quick snapshot on him. He was the Texas Rangers' 3rd-ranked prospect, becomes the Mets' 2nd-ranked overall prospect on MLB.com, behind only catcher Kevin Parada. Acuna is regarded as a 4-tool player with great speed, versatility in the field, arm strength, good hitting for average, good potential for his power to grow. He has 7 home runs in Double-A ball so far this season. He'll actually make his debut tomorrow for the Binghamton Mets. So, it's a good prospect, but in terms of trading Max Scherzer, we're going to discuss could they or should they have gotten more. But let's just wrap up with Sunday. Justin Verlander's ERA for the season is now down to 3.15. Went 5 1/3 strong yesterday. Mets won 5-2. Take 3 out of 4, like we said, from the Nationals. Francisco Lindor chipping in with his 21st home run on the season. Good weekend on the field, but now we got to talk about these trades. Well, first, let's ask about the aforementioned Justin Verlander. Now, the Rangers were initially reported to be interested, but later reports came out that said, we're only really in on Scherzer, they said, so... It's really only between the Astros and the Dodgers?
I heard the Astros are unlikely. The reunion between the Astros and Verlander, I heard that's unlikely. Dodgers,
Hey, they have...
If you want to give us Cartiaga, or whatever his last name is, Diego, or the catcher.
The kid they already called up, Bobby Miller, the pitcher.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby Miller.
I don't know if Billy Epler can pull that one off.
Probably not.
I said in the chat, I don't give this dude the benefit of the doubt. I never will. So I don't know, but Justin Verlander, he's still, and again, we've been critical of him on this show, but add context to how he struggled to start the season. He had that pinched nerve in his arm. He was out on opening day.
A couple of months, right?
Yeah, a couple of months, came back, struggled, but he was obviously settling in. Now his ERA, like I said, is down to 3.15, so...
In this last month, he has been dominant. Amazing. That has been incredible.
And if he were to start on opening day, this would be around the time... Let's say that when he started the season was his opening day, right? This is around the time where a pitcher kind of gets into his groove, Takes a little bit to get out, especially when you're hurt, you have a pinched nerve, you're not facing big leaguers, you're facing guys in the the complex down in Port St. Lucie, but now he's really gotten into a real good groove, and I think part of the reason why I think the Rangers maybe shied away from Verlander because maybe the Mets should have, at least if they were smart, they should be like let's keep at least one of these guys, right? Because what are we doing next year? What's our rotation next year? It's Senga, Quintana.
Do we have any farm system to be able to put in there?
Yeah, right.
No.
Let's put Tyler McGill back in the rotation.
No, please.
We'll throw David Peterson in there. It's just, we're punting next season basically if we trade Justin Verlander. But yeah, he's been pitching better as of late, and I think in his last 7 or 8 starts or something, he's pitching to an ERA a bit under 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that. And if they are going to trade somebody, they better get back, some real prospects, unlike
the punch-out numbers
the last
aren't
couple
great,
of trades.
but
Yeah,
like-
but you knew that after because he wasn't going to be throwing as hard after the Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's 40 years old. He had 2 years off because of Tommy John. So, and even last year, his strikeout numbers were down from what they were his whole career. But you heard him all the time talking like, I'm going to pitch a different way. Like, I'm not going to be I'm not a power pitcher anymore. I got to hit my spots. I got to do this. So strikeouts will probably still be down, but as long as he's going out there and pitching 6 innings at least, I'll take it.
That's a great point, Liam. And you brought up the fact that we don't know what this Mets rotation is going to look like next year if they do trade Verlander.
Right.
And I was talking to some of my friends, and they were bringing up the free agent pitchers this winter. I always do that. This winter, talking about Julio Urias or Aaron Nola. I mean, both guys this season, they've been good in the past, but this season they've been mid.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the Mets want to...
Another expiring starting pitching name is Luis Severino.
There's no chance. There is no... He can't even make a single A roster right now.
Yeah,
There's no way.
If Epler's still there in like mid-November, it's like, all right,
He'd
5
be dumb
years,
enough.
$20 million a year. We'll give
Yeah.
him 100. He'll stay in New York. Doesn't have to move.
He'd be dumb enough.
There's no way he's in the league next year.
By the way, like, on the subject of Epler, and it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that David Stearns is going to be the president.
Hope so. I
This
mean,
offseason?
everyone's saying it, everyone thinks it, but like, don't Mets your way out of David Stearns.
That's true.
Like, let's be real. We gotta make sure that we actually get this guy, and he wants to be here.
No, you're 100% right about that, but just given the assumption, and I know, like you just said, the assumption is dangerous, but going off the assumption that Stearns is here, is there any chance Billy Epler stays? Like, what would be the purpose for him to be here?
There is none.
Like,
If he's got a guy making decisions for him, then there's no point to even, from a business standpoint, why keep him on payroll if he's not making decisions? And from a baseball fan standpoint, why keep him on payroll if if the decisions he does make are horrible? So I think maybe if there's a good chance that Stearns, if he steps in as the president of baseball ops, I feel like there's a good chance Billy might stay as general manager, because then you got to get another general manager. You're only replacing one guy if you get David Stearns. So you would have to get another general manager who's out there, Jake, are they firing Brian Cashman? Because I'd take Cashman.
Take him. You could have him.
All right. Sounds good. My front office being led by David Stearns and David Stearns and Brian Cashman. I mean, I would take that in a heartbeat, especially from where we've been the past. We got Sandy Alderson, then we got guys who are getting DWEs and stuff. I mean, it's this is like the Mets general manager, the Mets president of baseball ops situation has been in the dumpster for the past 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
516-572-7440. I need to hear from the callers today, because this is everything going on with the Mets right now. Like Liam just perfectly put it. It's so interesting because we're talking about this coming off season and what the Mets are going to do. And really, that's contingent on what they do with Justin Verlander, because Verlander has a no-trade clause. He has a vesting option worth $35 million next season. And here's the question. I thought this was such a compelling question, because going into next season, if he stays on the Mets, Verlander, you would have JV, Senga, Quintana, maybe one of the minor league guys that hopefully one of them wins out and makes the rotation next
Which
season.
one?
I would like Peterson just because he's a lefty. It gives you I would rather Peterson. McGill looks done. But
McGill's cooked.
When Peterson
in AAA.
Yeah, but when Peterson has been coming in as a reliever, I think Ron Darling said it. He's not in strikeout mode; he's in out mode, and he's limiting the pitches, the amount of pitches, and he's not throwing, he's not starting a count with a hanging curveball, missing with a ball, then throwing another curveball. Like, no, he's trying to get guys out, and I think if he sticks to that plan as a starter, I think he can, consistently go 5, 6, 7 innings as a lefty. I mean, and then he gets paid, but that's if he, gets out of strikeout mode and throwing 100 pitches in 4 innings, So, and who's up in the Mets farm system other than McGill and Peterson? Mike Vassell? I don't think he's ready until 2025, right? He's still got a couple more years to develop. So
We don't have any farm system.
It
guys
might
coming
be-
we
up.
have no pitchers.
For Vassell, it might be 24. They have a kid named Dominic Hamill, maybe. Then you look down the list. I'm just looking at their prospect list right now. I mean, Jose Budo is not that guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, we've seen him
We've
already.
seen him.
Yeah. You just go down the list. There's nobodies. They're not on the top 100.
That's true. That's true.
They're just sitting there. It doesn't matter if they're number 5 in the Mets organization now, because what is the Mets farm system?
It's not
We've
much.
got Hartwig in our bullpen right now. He's one of our prospects.
Hartwig is a 28. That's why I laughed. That's why I started laughing. Hartwig is number 28 here. I'm like, yo, really? That's
and we made a trade with the Marlins, and we got 2 guys, and 11 of their top 30 top prospects. 11 of them are pitchers. You couldn't just get one in that deal.
Yeah, I texted FO. Like we got a catcher when our top prospect right now is Kevin Parada, a catcher. One of our best players on our team right now in the majors
He's the
is
best.
Francisco Alvarez, who has the most home runs from a catcher. So why do we need another catcher? And then we're getting another shortstop. We traded for Acuna a few days later, so that's another infielder. And then we got Ronnie Mauricio, who we continue to not bring up into the majors. Like there are so many pitchers in that farm system in Miami that Max Meyer, give me him. Like we get a catcher and a shortstop. Like, come on.
Yeah, and the shortstop. Listen, I mean, what are we looking forward to? Are we looking to next year? Because this shortstop, the Marco Vargas, his ETA is 2027. The guy is younger than I am. He was born the year after I was. I'm like the young. Me and Jake were talking about it. I'm like the youngest one here. He's younger than. What is he going to do at the major league level? What is he going to do at past rookie ball? He has a 283 average in rookie ball this year, whatever that means. And then that catcher is a 243 career hitter in rookie ball in 3 seasons. So we're getting nothing.
Hey, you sleeping on the 2027 Mets, baby.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing.
Right, because
You sleep.
I forgot 2027 was a part of that 3 to 5 year window Cohen was talking about in 2020.
2027, who are our starting pitchers? You can't name any because there are no pitchers in our farm system that will be able to be pitching in that time.
Yeah, and the guys in our rotation would be in a retirement home at that point. They're on their way out.
Let's see what the caller has to say. Caller, you are on WHPC Sports Talk. Identify yourself and tell us what's on your mind, please.
Hey, it's me, Ross. How you doing?
What's up, Ross?
Ross, where you at, buddy? Where you at?
I'm good. And this week's been going to be busy for me, so that's why. But
All right. Busy man. Got things to do.
But I'll say, but
Too
I
good
will
for
say
sports
this: the Mets. I mean, the next year is going to be a rebuild. This is the start of the rebuild because they're, in all likelihood, going to trade Verlander because I even heard him afterwards. Once they traded Scherzer, he seemed open to a trade. So I think he's gone.
I would be open to a trade if I were him too. You get rid of like the only guy who's done anything in that rotation. And granted, he's been horrible this year, but it's still a name. Like the Mets lost their best pitching coach by trading Max Scherzer. Like last year we saw it. This year we saw it. Everybody crowds around Scherzer. They crowd around the guys who have done it before, not Jeremy Hefner.
I mean, but I'm actually love the fact that they traded Scherzer, though. They needed to do that because Scherzer was awful this year. Let's be honest. I mean, he was getting home runs left and right. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I like the trade that Billy Eppler made there. I do. They got a good prospect there.
I wish you got a pitcher. I mean, because not only do they send him Scherzer, but they get one prospect back, and they also send him $35 million. They gave 30. They're saving whatever. They saved $22.5 million in the long run by trading Scherzer. But I thought money wasn't the problem. I thought this was supposed to be. So I don't know if you're sending the money on top of sending a player. Why are you only getting one prospect back?
Maybe Scherzer's value just wasn't that high around the league.
And that's the only thing. But when you're sending $36 million essentially to a team and saying here's basically the rest of his salary. Not only are they getting a player, not only are they getting a pitcher who, let's just face it, he could have just needed a change in scenery. This could be a guy who just hates New York, who wasn't a huge fan of the people around him. Who knows what the case may have been. So he waived his no trade clause. We'll see what happens. But
I mean, to be honest with you, though, I can't defend Max Scherzer here because he was awful here. That's what it is. He was the reason why they're making that David Robinson's gone. There's a reason why maybe Verlander's gone. Like, he was so bad in big spots where the front office had to do this. So I can't defend Scherzer here. I mean, if he's that upset about David Robinson getting moved, because that was the big thing. I think that's part of why he got moved, because he wasn't happy about the direction. Well, Scherzer needs to pitch better himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not trying to defend Scherzer. I'm just saying, give me back something more for my team. You know, like, and Josh did say it, and I've been thinking about it, seeing the other trades that are going on around Major League Baseball. You know, like, maybe his value wasn't that high, and maybe the value for pitchers as a whole isn't that high. But the Mets got two prospects for 40-year-old David Robertson, essentially, whose contract is up this year. The Rangers get another pitcher on their rotation for next year, too. And, oh, by the way, he's being paid to pitch by the New York Mets.
The Giolito's trade? They got Kai Brash, and catcher, switch hitter.
I'll leave you with this. What do you think of the idea of doing what the Braves did, which is being really bad for a few? Like, they're awful. They're like losing 100 games, 90 games.
Yeah.
And then you build it back up, and then you have that great farm system. That's what you'd be doing if you trade Verlander.
Well, here's the thing, Ross. Like Liam just said, Steve Cohen did make a 5-year promise on delivering a championship to
I think he's regretting that, though, right now.
He has to be.
Hey, you know what's funny about the Scherzer thing? First off, like, Ross said he was terrible. Yes, he was terrible in big spots. That's no question. The Braves series and then the wild card game versus the Padres, just doo-doo. Right, but 29 record, ERA of 3.02, 294 strikeouts with the Mets. It's good numbers, but obviously in the big moments,
it doesn't tell the full story.
The whole first season, all those stats, like the 3 ERA, like that's all like misconstructed from the first season of how he did from that first year, like how he did really good.
And by the way, Ross brought up, like, why is Scherzer complaining about the direction of the team?
Yeah.
So one of my favorite memes is actually like somebody just saying, like, yo, Subway is trash. My brother in Christ, you made the sandwich. Yo, you have given up 25 home runs in under 100 innings. You stink. Mm-hmm. Why are you complaining about the direction of the team? It's your fault. If you're really gonna keep it a buck, it's your fault. So I don't really. If I'm Steve Cohen and he walks into my office talking about, like, oh yeah, I don't know what the direction is. You gotta reassure me. Oh yeah, okay.
What have you done for us?
I'm on the phone with Texas immediately. Like, yo, please take him off my hands. This guy's psycho.
Give me Acuna.
Like, yeah, please. Like, come on, bro. Be funny.
I was also. It's fine. But I was also gonna say maybe like. You do it the Braves of being like, you're bad, but like it's also you're building up that farm system and then you're good for like 10 years. I would consider, like, I don't know if tanking is the right word, but like being bad for like a few years, like, you know, losing 97 games a year, like bad. It's not a bad idea.
But why do that when you can, like? But you need good baseball minds in the front office to make sure that your farm system doesn't. You know, because you can draft guys, and the MLB draft is really a crapshoot. I mean, let's think about it, right? So, what if you're tanking for a better pick? Like Mike Trout got picked in 26th overall. Like 25 teams passed on him. So the MLB draft is really you get who you get, and you don't get upset.
Tanking in baseball don't exist.
Right, right. And what the Braves did, it was they lost for a few years, and now they have a really good farm system. But they were like Michael Harris. He was brought up. And he played well. I haven't seen any, and there's a ton of guys. Spencer Strider is another one. There's a ton of guys who get up there and build up in that farm system. And the Mets, they haven't proven that they could do that. Like the Braves have been doing it forever. They have Freddie Freeman coming up. After that, Julio Teheran, Swanson a little bit after that. Yeah, but now we're getting closer to present day. But even during that time, they were still bringing up guys who were, at least from a Mets fan perspective, you know, they were killing us.
I'll leave you with this. What Pete Alonso said afterwards is ridiculous. After that trade of Max Scherzer, he's shocked by this. He should not. Nobody should be shocked by this. This was always going to happen because they played poorly. That's what happens when you play as poorly as you did, including you, Alonso. This is what happens. So I don't know why Alonso is shocked by this. That's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's in my opinion.
Hey, Ross, as usual, you're not wrong.
It's the voice of reason.
He is.
Ross Levine.
Guys like Ross is needed in the media. We appreciate you, Ross. We'll see you next week, all right?
Yeah, I'll see you. Bye.
Peace.
Ross Levine, we'll see him next Monday and Wednesday on Sports Talk as per usual. Not here this week, but
He's here in spirit.
He's always here in spirit.
It's like I can hear his voice.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. First off, let's have a conversation about if the Mets have gotten an appropriate haul back for Dave Robertson and Max Scherzer. I think the Max Scherzer deal, we would feel a lot better about it. I actually like the trade.
You really like it.
I do. I think Acuna, just from what I knew about him, because I did know about Ronald Acuna Jr.'s brother. I think they said it during some Fox Sports broadcast. I'm like, let me look into this kid. So, very talented, hitting over 310, 315 in
he was like
in
318 or something.
Yeah, so he's got talent, and if he can turn into the team's future center fielder or second baseman, leadoff guy, I'm cool with that.
If you could turn to his brother, that'd be great.
Think about how cool that rivalry would be.
That'd be great.
That would make Braves Mets insane.
Yeah. That would.
When in reality, it's just going to be Acuna hitting like second or third for the Braves, and then like Acuna hitting eighth for the Mets with like a 220 average. Come on, like that's what's going to happen. There's not. It can't get more Mets than trading for Acuna's little brother. Like we are Acuna's little brother. Like we're like Acuna's our father, and we're just like, all right, you know what? We'll get Acuna, his younger brother.
Maybe Billy Eppler was just like, yo, I'm going to throw Mets fans a bone. We're going to get Acuna's little brother. Like, what are the odds he's not going to be good? Look at Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, but like, does lightning strike twice in the same household very often?
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Come on. Like, we're looking to get...
Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, but how often does it happen? You know, like, obviously the Manning brothers, if you want to talk football or just whatever. It doesn't happen very often, and this guy he's defied the odds already by making it to AA, you know, and hitting over 300 there. But he hasn't even played in AAA yet. Am I right?
Hasn't.
So he hasn't touched AAA yet. You know, we're in New York. There's a similar guy that comes to mind who killed it at AA, never got a chance at AAA, and now look what he's doing in the major leagues. It's Anthony Volpe. He look the jump from even AAA to the big leagues is a huge jump, but from AA to AAA to the big leagues, I don't know how it's going to translate, and that's how prospects work, and that's how, you know, the farm system in baseball works. But I'm not very thrilled. And when talking about the return, for the Robertson trade, you get two guys. Why couldn't one of them be a pitcher? We already have a shortstop slash outfielder in Mauricio, and because we have a shortstop for the next 10 years, and we signed a center.
Can't get rid of him.
We signed a center fielder for the next 8 years. So where is this guy going to go? We're going to, you know, put Mauricio here at second sometimes, and McNeil will play right, and McNeil looks lost every time he plays right field. He made a couple of good plays over the weekend, but he made those make them look like good plays because he didn't track the ball correctly off the bat. So that's not sustainable, especially if we want to win. So we're just going to be playing musical chairs every day, you know, making a lineup like this guy will play left, this guy will play right. I mean, maybe we'll put him in at shortstop. Is Lindor going to play left next time? Like, is everybody just going to get equal playing time everywhere?
It's so frustrating. The whole fact that like this pitcher that we were trading him for, like all these prospects for, the best pitcher in the entire trade market. Like he hits like 2 ERA, 1 WHIP, and we get the 18th and the 21st best prospect of their team, and they're two positions that we don't need whatsoever. And they have one of the biggest needs, our biggest needs in our completely, and that's starting pitching in our farm system, and we don't even try to get that. Like, it's embarrassing, the fact that they got that for just 2 ERA, 1 WHIP.
I would have been fine with just getting one pitcher back, just one guy. If it's not like a position player, and somebody else, I would be fine with just a pitcher. They got 11 pitchers in their top 30. And none of them were talked about. None of them, like the Marlins, were that dead set on keeping their pitching.
I think just trying to understand the trade, and again, I'm not in the GM room, but I'm of the opinion that Billy Epler opted for, maybe he could have got one pitching prospect or two guys that should be good later down the line, and he went, okay, I'll go the long-term route. Maybe that's it, because like you're saying, Liam, it don't make sense to, if you have all these pitching prospects, 11 of them, take your pick.
But why is Billy Epler doing the long-term game? He's not going to be here long-term. He's not going to be working for the team. And this is a team whose window to win was this year.
You're 100% right.
We have some prospect hitters. I can't name any of our pitchers in the next 4 or 5 years that we're going to have come up.
Yeah.
We have none.
The only one that it's just Vassell, Hamill, and that's it, right?
And they have this kid, Christian Scott in AA, who's ahead of schedule.
Thank God.
But Jose Budo is ahead of schedule. And we saw how that worked out. So, I don't trust the Mets when it comes to this guy's going to come up here and he'll just be thrown in the lineup and he'll be like he's been playing here for months. But that hasn't happened in other than Alvarez, and even Alvarez when he was pulled up last year, he did nothing. Granted, it was a bad place to pull him up in that Braves series.
Terrible, but.
We're just expecting a guy to just roll out of bed and hit in a big league lineup after never playing in AAA. And in the Robertson trade, these guys haven't played past rookie ball. So they're not even in single A yet. They're still in the Florida Complex League.
We ain't seen these guys for a long time.
Probably no one's ever going to see him, because this is what happens. Because if they have an ETA of 2027, we're sitting here in 2023. That's 4 years.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm still laughing at the idea of Billy Epler on the phone with the Rangers, and they're just saying, yeah, we can give you Acuna's brother. And Billy Epler's just like, because I don't think he's that intelligent.
No, he's just like, oh my God, Acuna?
Acuna's brother? Yes. I'll make that deal.
That's what I feel like happened in the Robertson trade. Maybe he was going in there looking for a pitcher, and then the Marlins GM was just like, you know what? How would you like Ronald Hernandez and Marco Vargas?
Why have one when you can get two, Billy?
Wait, two is better than one, so you know what? Let's make this trade. David Robertson is all yours.
He probably thought he was on the phone with Atlanta when he was talking about trying to get Acuna.
Yeah, you got the wrong
Acuna
number.
From Max Scherzer.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. I made a terrible mistake.
The Braves speed dial was 4 and the Marlins was 5? I thought it was vice versa. Come on.
I didn't know that was Texas's number.
Like we just said, Billy Epler, I don't think is that intelligent. But maybe we're in 2027 and these moves look half decent. Let us pray.
Yeah, and then we just get to watch 4 more years of bad baseball before that. We just have to wait. We have to wait for Marco Vargas to come up. That's our saving grace, Mets fans.
I can't wait.
Marco Vargas and Ronald Hernandez. Even though, like Devin said, and like we've all said, the Mets have not only Francisco Alvarez at their catching position, who just got brought up. It's not like we got to sign him in a year or two. And then they also just drafted a catcher in the first round.
Parada. Number one prospect.
Number one.
So what's the need for catcher?
Why do they love catchers so much?
I don't know. Maybe because Billy Epler just thinks, you know what? Oh, if one catcher works out, they all got to work out.
My thing is, Parada, maybe he's just a super trade chip.
That's what I would want. Because what are you going to... Is he just going to... What? Him and Alvarez are going to split time?
No.
I don't want that. And then he plays 30 games a year backing up Alvarez? Mm-hmm. No. Use him as a trade chip, and we will, and we might use him. He might get thrown into the Verlander trade, and then we'll just get we'll get nothing back. We'll pay him, and we'll throw Parada in. Like Billy Epler's like, you know what? All right, we need a pitcher. They're not going to give us a pitcher if we throw Verlander, if it's just Verlander. So what if we throw in Parada? Could we get a pitcher? They're like, well, what about a left fielder? Done. And then there we go. Then we're back at square one. It's like now we lost our best trade chip because of what? A guy, Fernando Tatis's little brother. It's just, it's really bugging me out, and
I hate you, Billy Epler.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Epler, maybe we'll see in 4 seasons if you're right, but. Like we brought up, Steve Cohen's promise, he got 2 years left next season and in 2025 to deliver a championship to the Mets. This definitely looks like a setback now, but hey, we'll see. We'll talk more Mets later on in the show. After the break, we will get into the Yankees and what they're doing or lack thereof ahead of the trade deadline, as well as the don't pay running backs controversy continuing in Indianapolis.
Can't wait.
Plus, we got our weekend headlines and we got our buzzer beaters coming up. We are back in 45 seconds on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by Pantano's Gourmet, with 4 Long Island locations in Hewlett, Uniondale, and Pantanos Does Bagels in Garden City Park, and now open at 197 Atlantic Avenue in Freeport. The menu includes the Angry BLT with crispy bacon, romaine lettuce, tomatoes, smashed avocado, spicy chipotle, and everything seeds on a toasted bagel. Or the Morning Elvis, a chocolate Oreo chip twist bagel with peanut butter, sliced bananas, and Nutella cream cheese. More information and the full menu is available online at pantanosgourmet.com and ilovegreatbagels.com.
Oh, Pantanos!
As promised, back on Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. What y'all know about The Wire? Yeah.
I need to watch it.
Not much.
It's
Y'all kids know anything about The Wire?
It's one of those shows that I like. It was Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and then I was like, now I got to watch The Wire, and then I just never did. So that's Idris Elba, right? He's in that.
Idris Elba? Idris?
Tomato.
Is it Idris or Idris?
Idris.
Oh, it's
Idris.
Idris
Elba.
I always say Idris.
Okay.
I always said Idris, but
All right. Well, you learn something new every day on WHPC Sports Talk.
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It doesn't even have to be sports related.
By the way, you brought up The Sopranos.
Yeah.
This is
Woke up this morning.
that's good TV.
Got yourself. It's a great intro, great show.
You had that ready?
He's quick with it. Come on now.
I'm always quick with it, baby. All right, let's get to the Yankees. We'll take your calls once again, 516-572-7440. Hit up the show at 516-905-WHPC. It's time to talk about the Yankees, though. Let's recap their weekend real quick. Friday, Garrett Cole Masterclass. Aaron Judge gets on base 3 times. 1-0 loss on a walk-off home run.
Yes, but let's go give up everything for Soto, because why not, right? Because one outfielder who's batting .264 is gonna help us.
All right,
man.
We were talking about this. Like, have you seen his on base percentage though? Like, he's still getting on base.
I don't care.
Crazy.
He's not. This team is so violently bad that there's no way that he would even be able to do anything. He would not be able to. There's nothing that anyone could do. This season is done. This team sucks. It's a joke.
Bellinger's off the market.
Everything
that could go wrong.
It's why are we still trying? It's a joke. Severino is he should be ashamed of himself. He shouldn't even be. I don't know if I could say that on air, so I'm not going to. But he's horrible. He sucks. Everyone sucks. We can't hit. Literally, like, Judge is in the lineup. Okay, finally, he's back.
Hit his first home run on Saturday.
Okay, I'll give him that, yes. But it's just, no one else could do anything. And that's the main reason that they won that game on Saturday. I know they had 8 runs, but he sparked that whole thing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing here. There's no reason to give up. There's no reason to blow up the whole farm system to trade for anything. This is a hopeless team.
Yeah, but you just signed him to a 9-year, $360 million contract. Like, would be the time. Because Cole's not getting any younger.
Well, I'm thinking more. You just have to look towards free agency for this offseason, because if
that's worked out in the past for you guys.
Well, that's the thing too. No, because if you look at it, like, okay, look at Soto, right? You're literally giving up everything. You're giving up, let's say, realistically, 4 to 5 of your top prospects at least, minimum.
And then you probably have to throw in like Glaber.
Exactly.
With
yeah,
that.
you had you're giving up your arm and your. It's ridiculous. Not ridiculous. It's Soto, but there's and then you do that, and then you have Soto, and then what happens if he doesn't resign? We talked about this the other day, but it's just there's so many question marks around every single move that they could possibly make. That there's really, I just don't know what's the right thing to do anymore, because nothing is going right. Who knows?
The Yankees lose 2 out of 3 in Baltimore. 1 on Saturday, but like we said, yesterday's game was over before it started because of Severino. It was 6-0. You said before he even got an out.
Yeah, it's why are you in the major leagues?
Good job. ERA is above 7.5 now?
7.5 exactly, actually.
Jeez.
You were bringing it down, bro.
But you know what? Let's bring it right back up. 'Cause
Like,
He was bringing it down. You was doing so well.
And now we play Tampa, and we have Johnny Brito on the mound. That's gonna go great. I'm so excited to watch the game tonight. I can't wait.
Yeah, and then also the offense striking out 18 times yesterday.
Yeah, of course.
18 times in one game.
Good stuff.
It's a joke. Judge might not even play this whole series, and I understand that these are more of rehab games for him than real.
Verso went
Real
over
games,
5 with
but
5 strikeouts. Like
It's
embarrassing.
he needs to play, and I understand that the rehab games, like I just said, but he needs to play. He's the only one on this team that shows up. He literally comes in well, it was his second game, right? That he hit the home run.
Yeah,
it's his second game back. Are you kidding me?
he went 3 for 5, I think, on the day.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
When was the last time a Yankee went 3 for 5? Seriously, I cannot tell you. It's a joke.
4 score. And
It's ridiculous.
see what the caller has to say. Another caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, talk to me. What's going on?
No, not much. Well, I'll tell you, it's smoky here in Las Vegas. There's a rather large fire going on in the Mojave Desert area. You know.
What's up, Dave? What's going on?
How is this going to affect your guys' purchasing next year as far as Met tickets?
I'm still going to go.
We'll still go.
Nothing better to do.
It's like we're gonna suck, but like we still love the team with every bit of our body.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm going for Shake Shack. That's me personally. No, I mean, in all seriousness, we're Mets fans. We're born into it, and Citi Field's a great place to be. And they are supposed to, like Billy Epler and Steve Cohen said, it's not a rebuild. What did he say?
It's a restructure.
He said it's a repurposing. And
Repurposing,
what does that
that's
mean?
what it was.
This kid, we talked about it on Friday. Billy Epler just uses all these words like, what do they mean?
Yeah.
You're just trying to sound smart. What does that mean? Repurposing. What? Anyway, they're supposed to contend, so I'll probably still go, but who knows if it'll
I
end.
can understand like retooling, but like repurposing that's not a word. that has no meaning.
I don't know what that means.
It's supposed repurpose the payroll, I think was how he put it. So we're gonna spend money, but we're just gonna do it in a different way.
Well, let me ask you a question. Again, you can all chime in. You're cold calling me. I'm a Mets season ticket. Again, I'm here, but let's suppose I was a Mets season ticket holder this year, and you had to cold call me, say in October. Why should I re-up my tickets? Give me a good reason why I got to lay out the big bucks to see that circus again for another year.
The Mets have cheesesteaks in the Coca-Cola corner now.
There you go.
Miss Met looking kind of thick in
The boozy buckets.
Francisco Alvarez?
Francisco Alvarez, hold him up like Simba. Oh, that's all we have. That's all we have. I don't know, Dave. I don't know. Verlander might be gone. The only saving grace is that Steve Cohen is the richest owner in baseball, and Ohtani might be worth $1 billion now. He might be the only one crazy enough to do it, but if you're Ohtani, and again, he might say yes because of the money, but what about the Mets inspires you to be like, I'm going to leave Mike Trout and L.A. for this?
Yeah, when that wasn't even good enough.
Exactly. So I don't know.
I started to put an effort in after the fact that I'm now starting to go. Like, it's just like the Angels have always been disappointing.
And the Angels are biased because they got Giolito. They got
Randall Grichuk and C.J. Cron, I think, was the Angels.
Just today, right?
Yeah, what are they doing today?
And then they got in the same Giolito trade. They got
Reynaldo Lopez,
100-mile-an-hour relief pitcher. Good job, guys. 100-mile-an-hour relief pitcher, so they're going for it. I mean, you have
just
to.
one voice.
Yeah, same pitch, same everything.
They have to do it. The Angels with the best player in baseball, but even them, they might be the West Coast Mets if we keep it.
They are.
I don't know.
No, we've become the East Coast Angels. They've been doing it longer than we have.
What they're doing, they're just hurting themselves.
That's the common denominator.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
What do we have in common?
Here? Why is he here? Why is he here?
Kind of because of Ohtani, I think. I think that's the only. Isn't that the only reason why? Because he was choice number 3 for Steve Cohen, and then now that he's had, we're not done with this trade deadline, but 2 bad trade deadlines basically.
It don't get worse than last season.
The only saving grace is maybe he can do the same black magic he did to get Ohtani to the Angels that he did to get to to get him to the Mets.
If he wants to keep his job might be contingent on that. Like,
it is. I
get
think
me Ohtani or else.
Bring Ohtani or you're gone.
If it isn't, it very well should be. Because he's shown to do nothing else outside of maybe getting Ohtani. And again, it's just speculating. It's like the David Stearns thing. It's like maybe this is the only reason why he's here. Maybe this is, the last nail in the coffin for Billy Epler is, Ohtani going to the Giants or something, or to the Dodgers. But there's a good chance that, Cohen sits down and says, listen, I hired these guys. I believe in these guys. And we're going to make another run at things. Because Because not Billy Epler, Steve Cohen's been an owner now for a few years, and he's ruffled so many feathers. I mean, what is he going to do now? Get rid of another general manager, hire another one, and fingers crossed that that works out?
This is the one that's going to bring us a championship in 5 years.
And now here we are in 2023, and we're sellers at the trade deadline with the highest payroll in Major League Baseball history.
It's pretty embarrassing.
If we don't trade for like any pitching prospects with the remaining trade bait we have, I'm gonna go live it. Like,
what do you have left though? Tommy Pham.
That's
Pham, Mark
Tommy
Canna.
Pham.
Yeah, but
Canna, I guess.
Everybody's talking about Canna. What's his value? What is he done since he's gotten here? Other
Anybody
than
want Danny
240?
Mendick?
He's a
I think he's hitting less than 100.
Yeah, he's at like .083.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Yeah, it's his last name. It's all good.
Yeah, that's his name, Danny Mendick.
I don't think anybody wants Mendick. That's just. Sports phrase. Let's get back to the Yankees.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we kind of have to. I just want to run through their trade deadline,
Actually,
hot stove, whatever you want to call it, rumors.
I just want to say, shout out Garrett Cole, because he is the only one in that uniform who has actually showed up this year. The only person. I'm not even going to say Aaron Judge because he was out half the year. I feel so bad for him. I feel so. Yeah, there's nobody. There's literally nobody. It's a joke. I feel so bad for him that he has to sit here, have one of the best seasons of his career once again, and just have it wasted for nothing.
And you look at the trade market too. Cody Bellinger, who was one of the players most heavily linked to the Yankees,
the help's
for
not
weeks.
coming.
Now the Cubs are only 3.5 games out of the wild card, so they're saying, wait, we have Marcus Stroman, we have pretty good pitching, we have Suzuki, we have some pieces on offense. We're going to go for it, as they should. So he's off the market. The Yankees are reportedly interested in Jordan Hicks and Dylan Carlson, a relief pitcher and an outfielder from the Cardinals.
What are they going to do?
Some depth pieces, I guess, and then here's one I would like for them.
Jordan Hicks is already gone.
Yeah, I thought he was traded.
Yeah, I was going to say
the Blue Jays.
He was traded yesterday.
Yesterday.
So he's gone.
Yeah. There's your piece, right?
There were two Cardinals pitchers that they were looking at. I forgot the other one's name, but there were two of them.
The one I would really like is Heimer Candelario from the Nats.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
I like him.
He would make Josh Donaldson look like, or Josh Donaldson makes him look like
Babe Ruth
or Ohtani or somebody.
But even that, there's no one even on the market that would help enough to get this team to be a World Series contender.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
There's no reason to break the bank here for nothing. It's look at free agency next season and just worry about that, because this team sucks. You're not going anywhere, and they just wake up and realize that.
Yeah, but if you got, like, I hate to be this guy, but if you got Juan Soto hitting in, like, that short porch in right field where a fly ball at Petco is 6 rows back at Yankee Stadium, like, that could be all he needs. He just needs to turn on a ball, and then he's got a home run.
Do you think that's the answer, though, to save the season single-handedly?
Listen, I think it provides a much-needed spark. I think he provides a bigger spark than Cody Bellinger would have.
Definitely.
And this is a guy who you guys were talking about getting up until he was off the market. So if Cody Bellinger wouldn't be enough, then why not? If you're talking about Cody Bellinger and he's not going to be a big enough spark, because he doesn't hold a candle to Juan Soto.
Of course.
So if you get Juan Soto, and you are probably going to have to give up, Dominguez, Volpe, maybe another big league guy
Peraza.
You're trading away basically everybody. But to be fair, how have the Yankees done with their prospects, Other than Judge.
Yeah. The Yankees are one of the worst teams in the league at developing their prospects, as we've seen multiple times over and over. Judge somehow made it out of that rare bunch. But
Gleiber and Judge.
My thing is with trading for someone like Soto right now, I just feel like that's the thing with Bellinger too. If we did get Bellinger, I would have said, okay, now we have to go get another bat and a pitcher. There's no point of making one big move for Soto's not the answer. Soto, as good as he is, he's not going to save this season. He's not going to single-handedly make this team become a contender. And if you trade for someone like Soto, that's more than likely one of the only deals you're going to make, because that's everything.
It's not single-handedly, but it's the fact that they're not going to pitch. It's who do you pitch to now, Aaron Judge or Juan Soto? And they're definitely going to pitch to Rizzo, so maybe he can wake up a little bit. They're definitely going to pitch to Gleyber. Maybe he could wake up a little bit. Maybe all this offense needs is the attention taken off of them.
The spark.
And if Juan Soto, who you can't, if you're pitching around him, he's not swinging. He's walking to first base. So this is a guy who you either walk or have to pitch to. And then the guy next would be Aaron Judge, even though he is hurt. But really, I mean, the bullpen yesterday, they went 4 2/3 innings, didn't allow a run, right? This bullpen has been the best bullpen in baseball all year, apart from, July. They were kind of, teetering on the edge of being bad again. But they really are. They do have a solid bullpen. So maybe you just need, they've always been the Bronx Bombers, just hit the other team to death.
But that's the thing. They can't. We've been saying that
they can't without Aaron Judge. Now Aaron Judge is back, and maybe they can get Juan Soto. And if the Yankees are that bad at getting prospects from their farm system up to Major League Baseball, why hold on to that? Why not say, here, you know what? Let them be your problem, and we could have Juan Soto. Because I think if Juan Soto comes out, plays well, the Yankees maybe go on a run. Why would he want to leave? He gets to be a Yankee. He gets to. I would hope Brian Cashman pays the guy, but he would be a Yankee for life, and that short porch in right field would be his for life. Why not? Because really, he could hit a pop fly, and it's.
Jake, imagine having Juan Soto in left field for the next 14
trust me,
seasons.
It would be the craziest thing ever. An outfield of I've said it before. Judge, Soto, and Bader would be ridiculous. But not even Bader.
I love that you slipped Bader into that.
You kind of. I don't know. I'm a fan of him. I like him.
He's also a free agent.
Yeah, I know. But I kind of hope he comes back, even though he's also streaky and hits when he wants to and doesn't run to first base. But
he's gonna probably want like 4 years, probably 10 a year, probably.
Who knows?
Bro, probably more than that. If Nimmo got 8 years 9 years, $20 million, what's Bader gonna get?
Yeah.
Because I think Harrison Bader, even though like Nimmo didn't have much of a career the first 3 or 4 years. He was there,
right?
But he became Brandon Nimmo year 5, year 6. That's where he got paid. But Bader, he's a guy who's older than Brandon Nimmo. He's a guy that gets hurt a lot more than Brandon Nimmo, and he also doesn't get on base the same way Brandon Nimmo does. He doesn't hit the same way Brandon Nimmo does. He's got a little bit of pop, but that average 250, 260.
Liam, you just swung me on the Yankees trading for Soto. I think it's a perfect fit because of the advantages that the Yankees lefty hitters have with that right field porch. And he's a free agent in 2025. The Yankees can't wait until then, and I'm actually kind of surprised they waited. You see the report on the topic sheet. Rival executives believe that Brian Cashman will make, quote, some of the moves in the last hours of tomorrow's trade deadline. You just had a huge series against Baltimore. You play Tampa Bay today and tomorrow, and then you have Houston for 4?
Yeah.
You need to make. You should have made a move before the last series started.
That's the other thing too. I feel like it's just they're too far gone. There's nothing like
what are you waiting for?
You waited for Cody Bellinger to get off the
exactly.
market.
Exactly. Yeah. We've been talking about making a move for what, like 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And every one of the teams that they're like looking at, like the Rays and the Astros, they both made trades already. Like the Astros got Kendall Graveman, the Rays just got Aaron Savali just like 2 hours ago.
An hour ago, yeah.
So they're making moves already. Like Yankees, they're not making any moves yet.
Brian Cashman is right now on the couch with some potato chips with his hands down his pants, bro. You need to wake up and do something, please. I'm not even a Yankees fan, but this is frustrating. This is the marquee franchise in baseball, and this has become, in Hal Steinbrenner's tenure, just a joke.
He's acting like Leon Rose right now. It's crazy.
Low blow.
He's just waiting. He's like, wait, it's not August 1st yet, so what's the rush, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, the Knicks is back in a couple months, baby. Can't wait. Can't wait. Let's get to the headlines. Let's get it. I did want to get to the Jonathan Taylor versus Jim Irsay stuff. So here's the thing. So after the Giants and Saquon Barkley failed to agree on a long-term deal, Taylor tweeted out, "Wow." Pretty, simple, but gets the message across. Colts owner Jim Irsay responded on last Wednesday, that he was very much in favor with the current NFL CBA that has helped marginalize the running back position. Taylor's agent responded to Irsay on Twitter, so it wasn't looking too great. And then Taylor announced on Saturday that he demanded a trade from the Colts.
After meeting with them, right?
After meeting with them. And Irsay responded, saying that Taylor would not be traded under any circumstances, whether now or in October. And then Irsay went on to say, "If I die tomorrow, the NFL will go on. It's a privilege to be a part of the league." And before y'all go, who was on crack?
But you forgot that if they don't get a deal done and he doesn't whatever, they're going to put him on the non-football injury reserve.
And then he tweeted saying, "I'm not injured, bro."
Yeah, it was over a back. He was like, "I've never felt back pain. I don't feel back pain."
Yeah. By the way, it's crazy because Taylor, he didn't have a great year last year, but 2 years ago he was dominant.
Oh yeah, and best running back in the league.
Yeah.
And my thing is, the Colts in the Giants situation, the Giants had no cap space, so you could kind of excuse them not paying Saquon, even though I disagree with it.
Yeah.
The Colts have like $54 million.
They got plenty
it's just
of money.
sitting there. Like, what are you doing?
What are you not doing that for? Like,
you're fighting with your franchise player. Other players are going to see that and be like, "Why would I go to Indianapolis?"
Yeah, Anthony Richardson, who just got drafted, is probably like, "Wait, this is where I got drafted to. Like, this is what I have to deal with now." And he just got nose surgery. Anthony Richardson, which that was odd to see.
I heard he's maybe coming back tomorrow. Maybe.
He's not supposed to miss a ton of time. I think there was something up with his nose, like the septum had to be moved or something. I don't know, but now this guy's like, "All right, wait. Could Jim Irsay put me on the non-football injury list for my nose job now? Because, that happened 4 years ago or whatever, when he's trying to negotiate a deal." Yeah, Jim Irsay, he needs to focus on his guitar collection. And his band, he tours, he goes to Nashville with
and his hard
band.
drugs.
This is your best player you're talking about. Like, you pay the man. When he's your focal point of the offense, you pay the man. Like, you made a mistake last year with the whole Matt Ryan thing and passing like 55 times a game. But like that was the Matt Ryan experiment, and it didn't work.
Yes.
So just go back to the Jonathan Taylor experiment, and it's going to go through. It's going to work.
We'll see how that situation plays out. We'll also see how Dalvin Cook potentially signing with the Jets plays out. He was in New York all weekend. Still hasn't signed a deal, but he's talking very openly in the media with the idea of joining the Jets. But he's talking so openly that it makes me think
I think he's trying to get leverage, because isn't Miami another team that's in on him?
He's from South Florida.
That's another reason. He wants to play there. He said it's likely that I'll go to the Jets, but I feel like if he would take a pay cut, maybe $500,000 to go to Miami to play where he grew up, So
I can't remember what show he was on that he was talking
Good Morning
about
Football, I think.
That was it, yeah.
So, you're on NFL Network, and you're saying, I'm likely to go to the Jets. And now it's Monday, and he hasn't done anything yet. So there's a good chance he's just trying to get paid by another team.
This might be the Tyreek Hill situation all over again. Remember, it was him with the Jets and the Dolphins. He really wanted to be in Miami. I hope it's not the case for the Jets. It's all looking good with their camp. Aaron Rodgers taking that pay cut. He also said Sean Payton was insecure.
Yeah.
So he's defending his head coach and his
He also pulled
teammates.
He also pulled a Will Smith. He said, "Keep my coach's name out your mouth."
I love it. Aaron Rodgers, we were questioning how he would handle the media. He's doing pretty good so far.
He's great with them. They're eating out of his hands.
It's crazy.
He gets up there and he's like, and he just does his pretty boy voice, and then he's up there for 15 minutes, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's done talking? I didn't even ask him a serious question."
Hey, the Jets, they looking good. Camp's looking good. They just got to come together in the regular season, but they're my favorite to win the division. I've said that, so we gonna see.
Have to win the division.
That is the weekend headlines, and real quick, a minute left in the show. Let's get to the buzzer beaters. Who wants to go first?
If you're the Yankees,
yes,
what do you do in this current day with Mr. Luis Severino? What do you do? You have to get rid of him, right? You just have to. That's got to be the only solution.
Guangdong Tigers.
Really. Like, just send him to China right now. But I mean, there's no. What do you do? Because I just read something that there is a chance that he does make his next start, and I just don't. There's no possible way. How does this man?
That's the white flag if he's starting.
I don't understand.
I'll tell you
It's
that.
about time you bring him down. Like
Boone literally just said that all options are still on the table, and he could make his next start next week.
Embarrassing.
What, are you kidding me?
Not good.
Let me pitch instead of him, please. Like,
Here, real quick for the
ridiculous.
Yankees.
Yeah.
And I sold myself on it. I may have sold some other people in this room. You got to get Soto now. You got to go get Juan Soto.
Too expensive.
Steve of Revelations coming up next is chimed in. Too expensive. Listen with the Yankees. We'll see what they do. Trade deadline is tomorrow at 6. Also wanted to mention Terrence Bud Crawford. Whoop Errol Spence ass. I won some money. 40-0 record. That FanDuel deposit's going to hit different. Just wanted to leave on that note. But in all seriousness, we are done on Sports Talk. And for Jake Boico, Liam Flynn, Devin O'Shea, this is Joshua Umahi signing off and thanking you once again for listening to Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Who was on crack?